Good morning, all of you. In today's session, we'll focus more on the current affair topic, which recently in the news, and we'll also go through this topic in both perspectives, that is prelims perspective as well as the mains perspective. We'll go in both ways. So that's what the focus of the today's sessions. Earlier in the previous session, we have done some more like work, some of classes sessions on the tips and tricks where we have gone through the previous year questions. Even we have taken 2022 questions and analyzed the new trend of the UPSC and pattern, and we have also taught you how to get an answer with these ideas of the tips and tricks of different methods, how to get right answer to those areas. Then we have taken few classes on the important current affairs. So today's session will focus more on the current affairs sessions, current affair topic which is recently in the news, and today's topic will be on Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which we will cover in this SEO part in both the prelims perspectives as well as the mains perspectives. So both perspectives are important in the context of SEO, which was recently in the news, and it was again in the news like last Saturday also. There was some news with regard to SEO. That's why SEO is an important topic that we can expect question in your state related services examinations or UPSC examination of the 2023. We can expect a question, or else into 2022 mains, those who are appeared for the prelims, and if they are preparing for the mains 2022 also, we can expect a question on Shanghai Cooperation Organization. That's what the importance of SEO, which are repeatedly coming in the news. Before we start, I would like to give a model questions on the topic on SEO, like some initiative was mentioned in the news on the last Saturday. Based on that, I've given you a question here. So all of you have to read the question carefully and give me the answer. I will launch the poll now. So we'll start with a model question on Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This kind of question also you can expect in your like civil service examination GS prelims. So this is one such kind of the questions which we can expect. So please solve with these questions, and we'll start with this question, then we'll go through the content. Okay. Recently, all the members of Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO have extended their support to the initiative called as Solidarity 2023 to conduct a joint board operation. So which of the following member of the SEO launched these initiatives? So question is about the Solidarity 2023 is an initiative which is for the joint border operation, and all the SEO members were like supported or extended their support to this initiative. So which of the following country given in the option A, B, C, D has launched this initiative? That was the question. Shanghai Cooperation Organizations. This was a current affair since 2021 onwards, because in 2021 there was a news with regard to SEO. It was observing its 20th anniversary of its formations of SEO. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization was formed in 2001. Then 2021, it was the 20th anniversary of the SEO, and related to that anniversary, there was some news came in the news and significance was discussed in the news. And later, in the prelims examination in 2022 also, and in the mains examination of the previous UPSC 2021, also there was a question with regard to Shanghai Cooperation Organization, because Shanghai Cooperation is an important regional organization where India is also a member. You can see in this a small image, like put it in these slides, you can see that India is also a member. Because of that, India is also part of this regional organization. As part of our international relations syllabus, under the international regional organization in the Asia Pacific area. So this SEO is an important topic for our syllabus, and we can expect questions on this particular subjects or topic. And the recent news on Saturday was with regard to Solidarity 2023 initiative. It is a joint border operation initiative launched by China. It is an initiative of the China. The joint border operation 2023 called as Solidarity 2023 is an initiative launched by China, and all the members including India, supported this initiative. Because of that, it was in the news on Saturday, and they have discussed about this border operation Solidarity 2023. And further, there was some editorial and discussion was mentioned in other newspaper also with regard to the significance of SEO in ensuring security in the regions. So it is a joint border operation. Sometimes you can also expect questions like Solidarity 23 is a kind of, it's a joint border operations between the member countries of SEO. This was the news they mentioned in this Saturday. So the right answer to this question will be, China. So how many of you got the right and wrong? We'll check with the polls. You can see I've shared the result now. 33% of you have voted for the option A. That is wrong. It is not an initiative launched by India. 44% of you voted for the option B. That is a majority of you have voted for the right answer. It is the initiative of the China. It is the initiative of the China Solidarity 2023 and got the support of all the members, including India in the SEO. That's what it was in the news. And option C, some of you have given option C, Russia 2022. That is also wrong. And even Pakistan is also wrong. The right answer to the question is option B, China. So that's what the news. And also the news was mentioned about the 21st meeting of the expert group and border security conference of SEO members was hosted by the Indian Border Security Forces, and it was held from the June 15 to 17, and that's why the 18th on Saturday there was a news with regard to SEO and the border security meeting, and with the outputs of that meeting was discussed. And this meeting also attended by the members of SEO executive committee of the one of the organization along with the SEO, that is regional anti-terrorist structure, was also participated. And in the same news, there was another mentioning of an initiative which is called as Friendship Border of 2022, which is also an initiative of SEO members, the Friendship Border 2022 as part of the RATS initiative. That was the plan for preparation and conduct of joint border operations on this year, 2022. That's called as Friendship Border. Between these countries of SEO members have border disputes. So border cooperation and ensuring the security region, it has to conduct some effort to ensure a peace in the regions. For that, this SEO members has come up with a different initiatives to ensure border security or border cooperation, like Solidarity 2023 or Friendship Border 2022. All these are related in the context of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This was in the news on Saturday. And there was few news, and there was a quiz with regard to SEO also mentioned in the Hindu newspaper in the previous days. That way SEO we also covered in our daily news analysis, and those who have followed daily news analysis will also be familiar with the initiative. How many on 18th daily news analysis also uploaded? You can see that the important initiative was, the important news was mentioned, like whichever the news was came in the newspaper. So we have added to the daily news analysis, including you can see the Solidarity 2023. Solidarity 2023 also mentioned in the news analysis, and you can see the first page. The first content starts with the ACS Booster Challenge. This is the ACS Booster Challenge. The last day's question was the question on the stagflation concept. The stagflation concept was discussed because of the RBI report of the state of economy. So the information is also you can get from this question, that is the state of economy report released by Reserve Bank of India. According to the report, there was some mentioning about the stagflation, and it says that India's economy is better placed than many other countries in order to avoiding the risk of potential stagflation in the coming future, which was discussed in the RBI report. That's why the stagflation concept is part of our economy syllabus. We have given a question in the ACS Booster Challenge. So this way, one question will be posted in the daily news analysis. And in the last page of the end of the daily news analysis, you can see an explanation of the previous questions. There was a question on the Good Friday Agreement on the previous day, and the explanation to that was discussed in the next day newspaper. You can see that detailed explanation of the questions and also the related concepts that we need to study along with that topic also discussed in the explanations sessions. So those who want to crack this prelims examination, those who want to score mains examination well, please follow this ACS booster challenge as well along with the daily news analysis. That I would suggest those who forget to follow the news analysis, please follow. This will be definitely help you. So that's why we have added this kind of content. So this initiative ACS booster challenge, I hope you will follow that. So again, coming back to the session on the SEO, we'll study about what is SEO as in the prelims perspective, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. In the prelims examination, the areas of the question we can expect like the statement type. If the question is on the based on the statement type 1, 2, 3, like statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3. In this kind of question, there is a higher chances that they will add the statement with regard to when this SEO was established. For example, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization was established in 2001. Like that kind of statement will be coming. So in these details, when the organization was established, which of the following countries are the founding members, who are the current members of the SEO, and what is the prime objective of this organization, all these factors will be used in a statement type questions. Particularly the ABCD type question, we can expect which of the following is not a member of the SEO. That can be an ABCD question, or what, or any initiative like Solidarity 2023, any initiative could be ABC type questions, or whether India is a member or not. That kind of question also we can expect in the prelims examination. That's why we have to go through a particularly international organization. We have to make a clarity and classification when this organization established and who are the founding members. That means when the organization is going to be established and whoever is member of that particular point when it was established, they are called as the founding member. The founding partners or founding members of that particular organization is a kind of question they have already asked. That pattern we have seen in the previous questions. Then the current members, later many member countries were added to this organization. That can be a possible question in the future. So current members, who are the current member? Who is the last member? So this way also we have to study. This is the area, the perspective that we have to focus. Before the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, it was established as a Shanghai 5 in 1996. When we go to the history of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, in 1996, it was known as Shanghai 5 and it was established in 1996. When we say Shanghai 5, that means 5 member countries formed an organization for their security and cooperation. It is called as Shanghai 5 in 1996, and the member countries were China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. These were the 5 member countries were located in the Central Asia and the North Asia, the China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. These were the member countries. The Shanghai 5, known as Shanghai 5, established in 1996. And later, the accession of the Uzbekistan, that is also located in the Central Asian region. When this followed by the accession of the Uzbekistan to the Shanghai 5 or the organization, then it is renamed as Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So when we say Shanghai Cooperation, it is officially like established in 2001, but before that, it was Shanghai 5 in 1996. And except the Uzbekistan, China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan were the members, Tajikistan were the members of Shanghai 5. Later, the accession or inclusion of Uzbekistan to this group, and it was known as Shanghai Cooperation Organization in 2001, and it came into force since 2003. And it came into force since 2003. And because of that, it formed in 2001, and it was like observed its 20th anniversary in the last 2021. And this year also, its significance and like importance is increasing nowadays. That way, it's coming in the news. And current members, the current member of this organization, we can see India and Pakistan also joined. They also got membership to this SEO in 2017 when there was a summit held at Astana. When Astana summits, India and Pakistan also became a member of SEO. So in total, currently 8 member countries are there in the SEO, from China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan were the Shanghai 5. Then accession of Uzbekistan, the 6th member. Then accession of India and Pakistan, 8th member. So total currently 8 member countries are there. Total 8 member countries are there with the SEO, including India and also the Pakistan. So India and Pakistan, China, all of them are member, including Russia, within the SEO. So the questions can be expected. Which of the following? They will give you a list of members of the SEO countries, SEO. Then they will ask which of the following members of the SEO are known as Shanghai 5 or part of Shanghai 5. This can be a kind of question we can expect in the future prelims. Which of the following members of the SEO are part of Shanghai 5 in 1996? This way also questions can be framed. Or they will say which of the following member were the last member to join SEO? They are India and Pakistan. So this way you have to think. That means it is a method of study that we call it as question method. When you study a particular subject, when you study a particular topic, you have to imagine a question in yourself, how the questions can become, how the questions can be framed in the prelims examination or any other civil service examination. If you think in a question perspectives, you will be able to study in better way and you will be able to get a right answer when you see the question, because you already framed such kind of questions and you have studied accordingly to that. So Shanghai 5 also you please remember, and the last member to join with SEO are the India and Pakistan. The main objective of this organization is it is a multilateral association. That means different nations in the region of Asia are coming together and it's called as association. Then in order to ensure security in the Asia's regions and maintain stability among the member countries of the Eurasian regions, and also counteract of emerging challenges, whatever the challenges threat faced by these member countries, enhance the economic growth, enhance the trade between the nations, between the members of SEO, and also work for the cultural and humanitarian cooperation among the member countries. This is the objective. This objective we are not expecting in the prelims examination, but can be mentioned in the statement type. But this objective of SEO, we can use it in the mains answers. The objective of SEO, we can use it in mains answers. That's why we have to study the objective. The core objective is security, cooperation, core objective security operation. Then we can also say the development of the region, economic growth, trade, connectivity, all this stability, etc. Then are the objective of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So revision again, whatever the content we have discussed here, that's discussed here in this slide, a revision for that. It is a Eurasian, not only it's like around the Central Asian, and also Russia is also part, you can say the Eurasians. The Eurasian Political Economic Military Organization, known as, like earlier it was known as Shanghai 5 in 1996, joined by the China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, these 5 member countries. Then by accession of this Uzbekistan in 2001, it is renamed into Shanghai Cooperation Organization in 2001. It came into force, or it came into existence since 2003. And secretariat, where the secretariat, it's also a kind of prelims fact oriented question. Where is the headquarter or secretariat of the SEO? Such kind of questions can also be expected in the prelims. SEO secretariat is located in Beijing. This please remember. Even though the Shanghai is also a city located in China, some of the organization, like you have studied about New Development Bank. How many of you are like familiar with the New Development Bank? Is there anybody familiar with New Development Bank? If yes, also you can also comment in the Q&A session. If you are familiar with the New Development Bank, the New Development Bank, the headquarter of New Development, like Aditya Singh was responded. Yes, New Development Bank is located in the China. New Development Bank headquarter is located in China, which is Shanghai. But Shanghai Cooperation, the name is also a Shanghai, but it is not, the secretariat is not located on the Shanghai. This fact you need to study. That is a negative steady approach. That is, Shanghai is not the headquarters of SEO. Even the name is there. The secretariat of the SEO is located in Beijing. That you please remember. You will like confuse when you see these kind of questions. In ABC type question, there will be a question which of the following is an headquarters or secretariat located of the SEO. It is Beijing, not Shanghai. But in the case of New Development Bank, it is a bank. It's a group bank initiative of the BRICS countries. So it is an initiative of BRICS countries, New Development Bank, and an alternative to IMF or International Monetary Assistance. New Development Bank is an initiative of the BRICS. The headquarters of the New Development Bank is located in Shanghai. So that is the difference. Please remember that fact also. When you get any question on the Shanghai Cooperation headquarters or secretariat, it is located in Beijing. That please remember. And this objective is multilateral association in order to ensure security, maintain the stability across the vast Eurasian region, and you join forces to counteract emerging challenges and threat and enhance the trade as well as the cultural and humanitarian assistance or cooperation. Again, a map of the countries and the list of the countries, not only the member countries, their observer states, dialogue partners, guest attendance of this SEO also discussed or added in this slide. You can see that the member countries are 8 only, but there are other observer states also. You can see Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, Mongolia. These are the observer countries. Observer means they are not permanent member countries, but future there is a chance that they will get membership. So some of the countries given a status of observer to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. But sometimes in options, when you see the statement type questions or ABC type question, they will give this observer status in these options. So that's why we have to remember this observer countries like Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, Mongolia is not currently a member of SEO, but future there is a chance. Like for example, Iran, like the SEO countries are discussing, SEO bodies are discussing whether to give the membership status to Iran. So they've earlier announced that they will give as soon as possible, they will give membership status to Iran. This process is going on now. In the future, we can expect a news with regard to the Iran membership to the SEO. Currently, Iran is not a member, it's just an observer, but there's a chance that Iran will get a membership status to SEO soon. Then dialogue partners are there: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cambodia, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Turkey, where the countries got the dialogue partners. So any dialogue happening in their session or summits, these countries will be participating that. Then the guest attendants are like ASEAN, Turkmenistan, CIS, and UAN. These countries, this one abbreviation you can find it. So some of them are guest attendants. So this the member countries. And to study the member countries, you can also make some tricks, some code in order to remember the member countries, 8 member countries. Some examples I am giving here. One is the cricket partnership, the code language. The cricket partnerships is the code which we can remember for memorizing the member countries. There are 2 cases. One is Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. Kazakhstan also, please remember, it's a landlocked country. The largest landlocked country is the Kazakhstan, then the Kyrgyzstan, then Russia, India, China, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Pakistan. So these are the member countries. I will mark it here. So this kind of code language you can use. The cricket partnership, the K is like Kazakhstan, Russia, India, China, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Pakistan. Partnership stand for Pakistan. So these are the member countries. They are part of this SEO. Then other word you can use the cup tricks or trick up ulta way you can also use, or else PC Turkey. Different way you can make a code which way you can easily remember. So whichever the way you think that it will be very easy for me to remember, think about that and make a code language. So then it will be easy for you to remember these member countries of SEO. This code language can also help you to find the right answers. So the 8 member countries are China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, and Pakistan. Then 4 observer states are there. 6 dialogue partners are also there. Then members, when we study the member countries, please locate the map also. In this year prelims, you have seen that the map location of Afghanistan was asked. Anybody here already appeared for the prelims examination? Already appeared the prelim 2022? Yeah, some of you have attended. Yes, this year there was a question on the map location of Afghanistan. And they have wrongly given Azerbaijan and Armenia in these options here. You can see that they are not sharing any border with Afghanistan. That's why that question, if you have located the map of this region, you will get right answer very easily. So that's why please locate all the map of these member countries of this SCO. China is a member, Russia is a member. You can see that Russia is a member, Kazakhstan is a member, Kyrgyzstan is a member. 1, 2, 3. Kyrgyzstan is a member, then Tajikistan. So these were the Shanghai 5. Okay, these were the Shanghai 5. China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan. Then Uzbekistan. When Uzbekistan joined, this was known as Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So 6 members. Then later, Pakistan and India also joined with the SEO. Now currently 8 member countries. All of them were all the tick mark given in this slide are the member countries of the SEO. Please locate the map. So here, please remember, Mongolia is not currently a member, but the observer. Afghanistan is also not currently a member, but an observer. But Iran is also not a member. In future, there is a chance that Iran will get a membership status soon. Then Tajikistan is also a member. So sorry, this is Turkmenistan. Tajikistan is here. Turkmenistan is not a member. Wrongly given. Turkmenistan is not a member. Tajikistan is located in this region. Tajikistan is a member, which is also part of Shanghai 5. Turkmenistan is not a member. So wrong option will be Turkmenistan. Please remember that fact also. So this way you have to study. Or also please remember Nepal or Bhutan or Bangladesh or Maldives or Sri Lanka. All these countries are not part of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization. That fact also please remember. So please locate the map. The map based on locating these countries on the map also will be easy method to remember these member countries in the international relations. Then another fact you need to remember that SCO has been an observer. It has got an observer status to the UN General Assembly since 2005. The SCO came into existence in 2003 after its formation in 2001, and after 2 years it got an observer status to the United Nations General Assembly in 2005. So SCO got observer status to the United General Assembly. This organization can be part of any sessions held at United Nations General Assembly. It can be part of any initiative. It can be part of any sessions at the United Nations General Assembly. When we say any organizations got an observer status to United Nations General Assembly, then we have to study how the member countries get a membership status to the General Assembly. So that why we need to study this fact, because you can see there was a question in this year prelims. There was a question with regard to this particular question in the 2022. There was a question about United Nations General Assembly, and main focus of the question was how a member or any regional organization get observer status to the General Assembly. This question was asked in the context of Russia-Ukraine conflicts. The General Assembly was discussed, and it was also discussed in the context of International Solar Alliance, which got a membership status, like observer status, not a member, observer status to General Assembly. So that's why many organizations like get this grant of observer status to the United Nations General Assembly. That's why this question was asked in 2022. So any organization, when you study, you also please study about the fact that whether they got the observer status to General Assembly of the UN. So all the statements were right. I think we have discussed in the tips and tricks section. When you see the word keyword, like even though in the knowledge, even you lack knowledge completely, you can also go through the keywords mentioned in the particular questions. The can is kind of possibility, a chances as positive statements that we say. So if the keywords can, the most chances that will be right, and all the statement was right, and the right answer to the question was option D. This way also questions are framed. Here I'm just showing you the example of how the questions are framed by UPSC or the civil service examination based on the current affair. So if you study accordingly also, you will get the right answer when you see these such kind of questions. So the observer status also got to the SEO. It will be a statement type questions. A statement will be given like Shanghai Cooperation has also got an observer status to the United Nations General Assembly. That is also right. It has got an observer status to General Assembly. This fact, please revise your General Assembly topic, and also please refer to the website of General Assembly. Then you will get the data how the member countries get the status of observer. Then now we'll focus on the structure of the SEO. Another area of the question we can expect on the structure of an international organization. What is the structure of international organization like SEO? So one of the principal or the highest decision making body of the SEO is known as Head of States Council. Like this structure or their framework are important. You have seen that a question on the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the question was in 2022 about their framework or instrument or credit facilities of IMF. That is why this kind of structure could be a possible question in the future. So Head of State Council is a principal body of SEO, can be a statement in a future question. That's why we need to study the structure, which is the first council, then below which council is coming, the body in a structure way, one to the second and third, like that organizes a structure. The supreme decision making body is the known as Heads of State Council, and it decides the internal functioning and also interaction with the other states, other international organizations, like you have seen that United Nations General Assembly, and also it consider international issues like Russia, Ukraine, Sri Lankan economic crisis. It can also discuss Nepal economic crisis. Recently there was news about the Pakistan forex crisis also. Pakistan is also facing an economic crisis like forex crisis, which are already faced by Sri Lanka and also the Nepal. Now Pakistan also facing that. So international issues may be any border dispute between the countries, Afghanistan crisis. So any perspectives will be discussed with this Heads of State Council. Below the Heads of State Council, there is another body which is known as Head of Government Council. The Heads of Government Council is below to the State Council. This body approve the budgets, consider and decide upon the issues related to economic spheres and interaction within the issue, mainly economic perspectives, and approve the budgets. That is also economic perspectives. So considering, deciding the matter or issues related to economic spheres, which is interaction with the SEO, and it's also approve the budget. That is Heads of the Government Council. Then below that, Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs will be there. It's mainly consider the issues associated with the day-to-day activities of the SEO. So daily, the day-to-day activities are managed by the Council of Ministers of the Foreign Affairs, maybe the foreign ministers of the member countries of SEO. Then below that, we have another structure which is called as Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure. So another question you can expect in the prelim. Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure recently in the news is a part of which of the following organization? They will give ASEAN, they will give Shanghai Cooperation Organization, they will give like RCP, or they will give European Union. Such kind of organization will be given, and they will be asked to get right answer about the regional anti-terrorist structure is part of which of the following organization. So this kind of question also we can expect. Imagine a question in your mind, how the questions can be framed. Accordingly, if you study, you will get the right answer very easily, and you are already prepared in the smartest way. So regional anti-terrorist structure, RATS, is a part of SEO. It mainly, the objective of the regional anti-terrorist structure, main objective is to combat terrorism, separatism, extremism. It's also we can use it in mains. And this specifically is an important concern, security concern of India also. And that's why also India is also interested to be part of SEO, because it also has an objective to combat terrorism, separatism and extremism, which is a concern of India. A main function of SEO is also information sharing, especially on the regard of security. So the information, by using the technology and other methods, whatever the information is stored within the SEO RAT structure, it will be shared with the member countries of SEO. And the executive committee, there will be an executive committee handling this structure, these issues, this data of informations, which is for the security matters. There is an executive committee within the structure, and it is located on the Tashkent. Now my questions, where is this SEO secretariat is located? Now my questions to you now is, where is the secretariat located? Where is secretariat of SEO? Where is the Secretariat of SEO? Somebody please comment in the Q&A session. Where is the Secretariat of SEO? Yes. SS Madhu Bharati has responded Beijing. Aditya Singh also responded it is Beijing. Harshida B is also responded is Beijing. Rajashri, Beijing. Yes. Sharat Shantanu also responded as Beijing. Yes. Many of you have given the answer right. It is Beijing. But when you get a question about where is the structure of the regional anti-structure executive committee is located, that is different, which is Tashkent. So that is a different answer. The Secretariat of SEO is located on Beijing, not Shanghai. But the regional anti-terrorist structure RATS is located in the Tashkent. Another location, another office location, the structure of the regional anti-terrorist structure, which is an executive committee, which is located on the Tashkent. That also please remember. Sometime in a statement type or the different way, we can expect questions on this way also, where the regional anti-terrorist structure is located, where the executive committee of RATS is located in. So it is located on Tashkent, not on Beijing, not on even Shanghai. But Secretariat of SEO is located in Beijing. This fact also please remember, because this will be a statement question. We will think that it will be Shanghai or Beijing. So it is Tashkent, please remember. It is located on the Uzbekistan. So Tashkent, it is located on Tashkent. So this way also the map location or the places in the news can be a questions. So you can see in the slide also, in the right side of the slide, you can see that the structure of Shanghai Cooperation, the image from their website is also inserted here. So the structure in an order, we have studied about the highest body. The highest body is the head of the state council, then the government council, mainly the prime ministers, including our prime minister will be part of that, council of foreign ministers. And under that there are different structures there, but RAT is also part of that, RAT council, and its executive committee is located in Tashkent. So they have the permanent structure, permanent members body to the SEO. This structure also you please remember. This way we can expect question like structure. One is head of the state council, head of the government council, council of ministers and foreign affairs, the regional anti-terror structure. The most important under this structure is first one. The most important structure is this one. Please remember, head of the state council is the highest decision making body. And another important structure is regional anti-terrorist structure, RAT. These are the two things, please remember. We can expect question on that. So this was the question they have asked in UPSC Prelim 2022 with regard to Shanghai. Shanghai Cooperation. Shanghai Cooperation, SEO was mentioned in the 2022 question. It was already, we have discussed many times about India's membership. With this, we have understood that the SEO, it was in the news in the context of the anniversary. It was discussed in the many times in the news in the significance for India. And Shanghai Cooperation was mentioned in this question in 2022 prelims. So the member status of India was the major focus of the question of 2022.